Hey there, lovelies. Hey there, Facebook lovelies. It's so good to be here with you on Tuesday at 4 p.m. We missed you last week. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the Interior Design Advocate because I'm one of the country's leading design coaches, and I also advocate on behalf of women and design lovers everywhere to help you beautify your home, and I'm getting waves already. I'm sorry I couldn't be here with you last week. We were down at the furniture market, and I tell you what, Newark Airport is love you, Newark, but if you are flying in a month that ends in Y and you're on a weekday that starts with the letter T and there's a little bit of fog or a little bit of drizzle or something's happening, oh my gosh, that airport, air traffic gets shut down. And there was, I admit, there's a little fog and a little stuff happening, so I wasn't the only designer that was getting waylaid in the airports and such, but it wasn't pretty. So we had to miss our Facebook Live last week. We were planning to rush back here to get out here just probably with about 45 minutes to spare. We thought we could do it, but nope. The goddess of design and travel had other plans for us. So anyway, great to be here with you. We're talking about home staging today. In fact, I had a meetup online with some of my more advanced students, and one of them was asking me about home staging. So I'm happy to be sharing things with you today. Hopefully they're a little bit different than some of the things you've been reading in blogs and so forth. And if you have a question about home staging, please feel free to type it in and I'll be happy to answer those questions while I'm here with you live. Okie dokie. So home staging, what's the point? The point to remember is that you are turning your home back into a piece of property. You're turning it into a product. You're turning it back into a house. It's about the architecture. It's not about your furniture. It's about the architecture. Now, it's a pretty well-known thing, and I'm just the messenger, that if you don't work in the design industry, chances are pretty good that you look at a space and you see what's there. Designers, we look at spaces and we see what's possible. Well, people who are searching for new homes, they are looking at what's there. So don't expect your home buyer to see the potential necessarily. You got to show it to them right then and there. And that's why you see so many blog posts about depersonalize the space. Don't show them all these pictures with, your kids and your family vacations, because you want people to picture themselves in that space. You want to depersonalize it. And that's why you read blog posts about, if you have a ton of furniture, let the corners breathe, edit, show less furniture. If you ever look at a model home, if you look at the dining room, chances are you'll see not a ton of furniture and not huge furniture in there as well, to try to really maximize the one thing that every home buyer wants, which is what? They want to maximize the amount of square footage they can have at the purchase price they're looking at, right? So that's why you're decluttering, letting those corners breathe, depersonalizing so people can more easily envision themselves in a space. But there are a couple of other psychological things you want to think about when you're staging a home to sell. A home buyer wants to believe that they have found a jewel in your home, and they want to believe that the homeowners, the current homeowners, took such amazing care of this property, great TLC, that, oh, what a find, what a treasure this is, because everything is just in mint condition. So things that you can do to help forward that feeling or promote that feeling in your potential buyers is make sure that you have removed from your space any furniture that looks a little worn and torn. If the cat or the dog was chewing on it, or your 8-year-old when they were only 4 years old was coloring on it, you get rid of it. Either put it into storage if you think you need to reuse it in your new space, or just get rid of it. Or if the table is looking really scratched, get some repair markers out there, do something to make the condition of everything look really, really fresh and mint, because what it tells your potential buyer is, again, this homeowner took amazing care of this space. So something else you want to think about doing is, again, don't make it about your furniture, make it about the architecture. So if you have window treatments that are looking kind of dated, swags and jabots, better to take those down, and just perhaps you also have blinds or shades on that same window. Let the window be slightly underdressed, so it's the window that's happening, not your dated window dressing that you might have put up 15, 20, 25 years ago, okay? There was something we were taught in design school, which is this: nothing is better than something bad. I'm getting all these waves on Instagram, hello, and I'm getting hellos and butterflies on Facebook. So it's so good to be back with you guys. So what else do I want to tell you? Oh, I know I've taken a lot of flack around here about my non-love, my public non-love of faux plants. If you are selling a home, get rid of those dried flowers. They are truly dust collectors. If you have some faux plants, phaco plants that you think are important to just kind of, you know, maybe maximize the way a room looks, maybe you have a faux ficus or something, please, they're dust collectors. Get out there with either a blow dryer and blow up that dust, or get out there with a paper towel, you know, semi-damp, and, you know, wipe that down as well. Again, it's not about your furniture. You're trying to turn your home back into a product, maximizing those windows, maximizing that sense of spaciousness, maximizing that the architecture at hand. Something else, though, that is not often talked about that also makes a big difference: the scent in your home. And I'm not talking about just, you know, putting a, I don't know, a banana bread or a, I don't know, what are they talking about, Katie? Like a cinnamon loaf, you know, stick it in the oven. Yeah. Let me tell you something. If you have pets that you proudly say, I love my dog doesn't have dog smell. To you, your dog doesn't have dog smell. To everybody else, your dog smells like a dog. Same thing, cat owners. I'm sorry to say this to you. I know you love your cats. I've had cat owners tell me, I walk in my home and gee, my house doesn't even smell like cat. And I'm thinking, yeah, it does. I'm getting a little cat smell. So here's what you can, and listen, I'm a former pet owner. We adored it. We had these cute little crazy West Highland white terriers. And I too remember thinking, you know, Louis doesn't smell like a dog. To everybody else, he smelled like a dog. There are great charcoal air fresheners. Google them. They are fantastic for taking scent out of the air. And you might just want to have those tucked behind furniture, behind the sofa, behind the bed, underneath some dressers. Just really get them out there and let those start soaking up scent. And certainly cigarette smoke, you know, that gets really trapped inside of fiber of you know, window coverings and bedding and rugs. That's a little harder to remove, but again, try those charcoal filters to see what that does. And something else when it comes to staging a home to sell that really is a great, great trick that we've used back in the day when we were doing staging. I don't enjoy staging, so that's the only reason I don't still do it. I'll tell you why later if you want, why I don't enjoy doing it. But anyway, when people come to your home, I'm sure you've read this in blog posts, you know, they make that decision within 15 seconds if they think they're going to possibly like your home. What you may not know is that when people step over a threshold, it's very normal for them to glance down just to see where they're stepping, making sure that they're not tripping their way into that front door. So what you want to make sure of is that, number one, that your foyer rug is really in great condition. If it's not, if it's stained, looking a little schmutzy, you want to invest in a new one, keep those colors in a mid-tone so that it'll you know, continue to hide the dirt and the mud and the schmutz, you know, that people are dragging in. That foyer rug needs to be in pristine condition. In fact, some of you who perhaps are living in a detached home or a townhome, you may have kind of lost touch with what the outside of that front door is looking like. It's very common for, you know, spider webs to start to happen out there, cobwebby kind of things. So get out there and, you know, Windex your side lights and get out there and make sure, in fact, I would call in a window washing group and have all your windows washed. It makes such a big difference. It opens up the view hugely. You may want to even have them remove screens. So again, glass looks great. But anyway, I digress. Back to that front door. You may want to repaint that front door. You may want to replace the door knocker. You may want to freshen up and replace the handle, the doorknob coming into the home, into your home. Again, that first impression, as we said at the start of this Facebook Live, you want to make sure that every potential buyer comes to your home thinking, oh, this family took, or this individual took amazing care of this property. This is a little jewel in the rough. I've got to grab it. Or it's a big jewel in the rough. I've got to grab it. So those are some things to share with you about home staging. If you have a question about staging a home to sell, feel free to pop your question in. I'm getting lots of waves and so forth. I'll tell you quickly why I don't enjoy staging. I'm doing the thing again where I talk with my hands, Katie. What is it? Katie's telling me she thinks it's fine. I don't know. I feel a little self-conscious about it. But anyway, why do I hate staging? I had a realtor in a very, an affluent area call me in a raving panic about a property that she had to put up. She had to put it up quickly. And she said, please, can you come and stage this? Because this home really fell into disrepair. And it did. It was kind of a sad story. We did that for her, and the home sold very, very quickly. So she came back to us again, and she said, hey, I've got another challenging property. Can you do this next one? Well, the next one we went out on, I didn't realize that the husband had been transferred, and the wife was just not happy about this transfer. Not at all. She was not happy about the move. So as I was walking through her home with her, beautiful home, talking about depersonalizing the space, moving her collections, out of the way. There's a lot of stuff around, and she was a collector, various things. As I talked about very delicately and very respectfully about, how we can open up the space if we edit here. I use the word edit. She started to cry. I said, oh my gosh. I said, are you okay? She said, I am miserable about this move, and I feel like my home is being taken apart and ripped from me. I thought, oh no, that's what I'm doing. I'm the bad guy doing the taking apart, doing the ripping. And after that, I said to this realtor, Ro, listen, I'll help you out on this project, but I can't do this again. It's just too sad for me to see people going through moving that don't want to go through moving. And even people who do want to go through moving, it's still an emotional thing to let go of your home as it was. So I can teach about home staging, and I've studied it, but I didn't enjoy doing it. I was not the right one. I wanted to start to cry with this woman. She started to just sob with me, and I'm a comfort sobber. So I was ready to start crying with her. What good would that have done if we were both just mush balls? So that's why we don't stage. And we have a wonderful client who needed us to do some staging for them. We said, we have the name of 3 wonderful companies that you can call to do some staging for you. And we gave them that information. So there you go. So if you have a question about home staging, either Instagram or Facebook Live, please feel free to put that in. And while I'm giving you that opportunity, I want to let you know what's coming up. Next week, we are talking about the trends that we saw at the furniture market. So definitely you'll want to be around for that. It was a phenomenal furniture market. Our time there was pressed and a little on the short side because of some personal commitments Steve and I had, but we motored like maniacs, and we saw a lot, and we met with a lot of people. So next week it's all about furniture trends. And by the way, I hope that you'll give us a follow on Instagram, Facebookers, if you're not already following us, and you can find us at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius, so we can continue to inspire you and take great care of you on our Instagram feed, and you'll get to see a little bit more about what we're up to and behind the scenes and that sort of thing as well. Okay, so there you go. So here are there's a question from Instagram. Okay, so Keto Memphis mom. Oh, Keto Memphis, you're in Memphis. Oh, you should DM me and tell me if Memphis is a great little town or city that I hear it is, because my brothers and I are trying to find a common city to meet in and have dinner. We haven't been together alone in a room for a long time just because of our geography, and when we are together, it's a whole big family thing. And we thought, how about the Sibs get together and have dinner? And Memphis was one of the cities mentioned as a possible meeting point, because it's to the right of Texas and to the left of New Jersey and Philadelphia. Notice what a good sense of direction I have. I'm a left-right girl. Anyway, how should you stage windows? Keto Memphis mom wants to know. Well, here's the thing. Window treatment design alone is costly. If you were part of the live window treatment course that we did recently, you know what a big deep dive it is. And I always ask first, what's your budget? So Keto Memphis mom, I'd love to know what your budget is. Here's the thing. You cannot guess what the taste and style level will be, not level, but the style preferences will be of your buyer. You just can't, you cannot project that. You can try to stay on trend with your paint colors for sure, do things that enhance rooms. But as far as window treatment goes, if you already have things there, Keto Memphis mom, I'd leave them unless you are Swags and Jabos, and I would get rid of things. If you feel that you have a window that's really underdressed, and let's say you have a beautiful, I don't know, bay window in a living room or a bedroom that you think, gosh, if I just dress this lightly, I could really make it look spectacular, Then I would look to do very simple panels. Panels tend to be one of the biggest, most often chosen trends that you can do. And after that, beautiful shades are really pretty. And you don't have to do custom, you can do semi-custom. But I really hate to see you put money into treating your windows if you're going to be moving. If you're moving in the next 5 to 7 years, treat your windows and enjoy them now. Probably stay away from custom, maybe do semi-custom on some shades if you need to. And if you can, if something exciting happens here with our window course, which it likely will, and we reissue it, then you'll learn some great hacks to make ready-made window treatments look really, really cheat the look so they can look as customized as possible. And that has to do with, well, a couple of formulas that too long for me to teach you right now. So Keto Memphis Mom, did I answer you properly and sufficiently? If not, please feel free to send in a follow-up question. And if not, hopefully that did it for you. Okay, so any other questions? I'll see if there's anything happening for Facebook. Do I have questions? No, I don't have any questions on Facebook. Good. I'm going to say last call on questions, because if I don't have questions, I'm going to zip it up and get out of here. We have more work to do here at the studio. Please give us a follow on Instagram at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius, so that you can see our Instagram feed. And you're already on our Instagram feed, so you don't need that prompt at all. Katie, nothing else happening? Nothing else happening. Okay, dolls, girlfriends, lovelies, and gorgeous design-loving women. I will see you next Tuesday, 4 p.m. We'll be talking about the trends that we saw at the furniture market. I just saw a question come in, Katie, on Instagram. Hi, Donna. I have a very small entryway. Could I send you a photo of the entryway? Would you be able to give me ideas about how to decorate it? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to say no, because there are so many more of you than there are of me. And all the students that I'm coaching and teaching and the clients that I'm working with, I just don't have the bandwidth, I'm afraid, to just take on every question that comes of when people send me pictures and that sort of thing, which is why I love to come out here and coach you live. So let me tell you that with a small entry foyer, here are some things you can do. With a small entry foyer, I would try to get your entry rug to be as big as possible. It'll open up your foyer. I would also see if there's an opportunity for artwork by way of a nice big mirror somewhere in that foyer to help open it up. And also with the small entry foyer, think about what you can do for a light fixture. Do you have room for a semi-flush? Do you have room for a 12-inch or a 14-inch semi-flush fixture, as opposed to a flush mount that just hugs really tight into that ceiling? Those are some things that you can do to help open up an entry foyer, not to mention painting that entry foyer a receding color, a color that moves away from the eye, like a very pale neutral, a very pale gray, a very pale cream. Creams are so hot right now on Instagram, and certainly if it works in your home, go for it. But it's possible that if you have other saturated color on your wall, suddenly going to white in one room is going to look like your room wasn't painted. So you might need to do a very, very light sand kind of color, very, very light beige, so that, again, there's a cohesion with the rest of your home, but keep it super light, super desaturated. So hopefully that helps you with your small foyer to get you going and motivated, and good luck if you're staging to sell with that, or just enjoy the foyer if you're staying in that foyer. I hear Katie scribbling, so I think there are more questions coming. I'm getting waves on Instagram. Deb is telling me, thank you so much. You're welcome, Deb. Thank you so much for sending your question and for being here with me now. Okay, that's it, Katie. Is there something else coming?
Off topic.
If there's one more thing coming off topic, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to take the one off topic question right now, because I feel so bad about having to miss my time with you. How much education is required for interior design? Okay, Jay Taylor's is asking that. That's a really good question. I remember when I went back to school to study design, this is a second career for me, and I already had a 3-year master's degree in fine arts. And I remember going to design school thinking, I got this, I got this, I know I've got great instincts, I got this. I remember walking out of my first day of class thinking, what the hell did I get myself into? I realized I didn't even know what I didn't even know. But it was starting to hit me in that first class. I realized how much science or strategy and formula there was that was involved. I realized that there were so many opportunities in one tiny piece of a project to totally screw it up, and all eyes and hands would be to me. I knew I was going to need errors and omissions insurance. I knew that I was now going to be controlling big budgets, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and yes, now that we've really grown as a company, you know, multi-million-dollar budgets for certain projects, and all eyes track back to that designer. So you do need education. I don't know how old you are. If you're just starting out, go to school, get a 4-year degree. If it's a second career for you, you can either do a 2-year, go back for a 2-year post-baccalaureate, or you can do a certification, a 1 or 1.5 year certification. I think the really important part, and I'm so glad you're asking about education, the super important part is that you make sure you never promise you can do something for a client that you can't do. I just had I think I shared with you a couple of weeks ago, I had a meeting with a terrific family who had been totally screwed by a designer who said that she could do things that were not in her wheelhouse. She was not capable of doing the kind of renovation and full design on this whole house that she had promised. A year later, nothing really was accomplished, piecemeal stuff. The family was furious and frustrated. So I think it's really important that you get education, make sure you're not a dilettante. There's an expression, hope I get it right. Hiring an expert is not expensive. Hiring an amateur is, right? That's where the mistakes happen. So get education if you think that you want to be a designer, and then see if you can apprentice with a design company, learn the ropes from a designer who's already doing well and who can, take you under their wing and show you what's going on. I think if you go directly from school into opening your own practice, it can be done. I did it. It's definitely scarier to do because you haven't apprenticed with anyone. You don't know systems. You don't know processes. There are some design coaches out there that I think you can learn from as well. And if you are thinking that you might want to go back to school, I know students of our online courses have shared with us that they liked taking our courses first to kind of get a sense of what's involved, to say, this is not me, or yeah, bring it. Let me go for a really formal education, because our courses are really reasonably priced. So you might want to go to theinteriordesignadvocate.com, go to our product page and look at some of the online courses that we have there. So hopefully that can help you, but good luck. And if you do pursue a degree in design or education in design, DM me, let me know how you're doing, and I'm excited for you. Okay, and I wish you just all the best. Blessings, blessings, and more blessings. Thank you, Donna. This is from Lynn. I've been learning so much, and you give me a lot to ponder. Lynn, you are so welcome. Big hugs back to you. It is such a pleasure and a joy for me to come out here and talk to you. I got to tell you, sometimes you have a terrible day at the office. Somebody at our company got hacked today. That's been really fun. Sometimes, project delays happen and people get frustrated and yada, 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 bip, bip, bip. But I come out here to talk to you, or to teach my students, or to be in a private Facebook group with some of the amazing women who are taking my courses and doing amazing things. And I got to tell you, it's not lip service when I tell you, it just feeds and fills my spirit. So much so, I know I've mentioned a little bit, but we have a conference, a Design Diva conference happening. Yes, we do. December 28 and 29. The invitations are going to be going out sometime in early May. That's all I'm going to tell you, sometime in early May. And we're going to release a limited, and I mean limited, number of tickets at an insanely low price, not even covering what it will cost for us to feed you at this day-and-a-half conference. But it's just my way of saying thank you and giving back to you guys. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Joanne is asking a question. Here we go. Anne is saying she's a newbie here. Anne, great to have you. Joanne is saying, would you recommend staging only a couple of rooms, not all the rooms in your home that you're selling, or leave it empty? Joanne, that's a great question. Here's the thing with leaving it empty. Leaving empty does not generally help sales. So I would not leave empty the main spaces, the kitchen, the dining living room, the master bedroom. Joanne, you can rent furniture from some companies if you wanted to show a room as an alternative bedroom or as an alternative use. So I don't know what kind of budget you have to spend on your staging. I would definitely meet with a realtor in your area, see what the comps are going for, see how well things are selling, see what that realtor thinks of your home in terms of condition, etc., and if some staging would be in order. So I think you could get away with keeping a couple of the, the spare bedrooms empty, but really pristine clean. Make sure that the carpets and paint is nice and clean, because with no furniture in there, got to be good looking, right? Real fresh, move-in condition. And then you might be able to lighten up on some of the staging that you're doing in the non-public areas, so that you can devote some resources to the staging the more public areas. But that's a great question, Joanne. Katie, do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, sorry,
okay, Katie's reading. Oh, did I say October?
You said December.
I said December. Oh my gosh. See, it's the hacking that happened. I almost stressed out. September 28 and 29. September 28 and 29. All day Saturday, September 28. Half day on Saturday, September 29. It's going to be an amazing design immersion, spirit lifting, design diva, soul feeding and filling, bonding with other design lovers, experts coming in to speak. I'll be doing a lot of teaching as well. And we are feeding you so beautifully. Breakfast and snacks and PM snacks and AM snacks, because I'm a snacker. Lunch on day 1. Day 2, we're going to disband before lunch, so that you can either enjoy the city of Philadelphia, where we're going to be, or scooch up to New York, or head home in plenty of time for the rest of your week. So we've got amazing things happening in that conference, and we'll be putting out more information, and that is September 28, 29. I don't know why that popped out of my mouth wrong. Just don't know, but it did, and I apologize. Okay, dolls, it looks to me like we are through with questions. Steve Hoffman, the man of the hour, is telling me that get it right, kiddo, it's September, not December. I love Steve Hoffman. That's why I married him. Lucky move, lucky me. All right, guys, that's it. I'm done rambling. I'm going to get out of your hair. I'll see you next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We are talking about furniture trends that we just saw at the furniture market. Amazing stuff to report. I'll see you then. And in the meantime, go forth and have a great week. Hugs to everybody. Bye-bye.